the address from the MetaMask. Okay, you're going to check whether the user is an inspector, lender, buyer, or the seller, right? So each button, on clicking on the each button, it calls a function. Here you can see when I click on this approve inspector, it calls an inspector handler function. So what does this all functions do? So let's check out the functionality of each functions. So here you have the buy handler. The buy handler just does two things. One is the deposit earnest, which is the down pay. Okay, this has been done from the buyer, right? So this buy deposit earnest consists of two parameters. One is the ID of the NFT as well as the amount. So in order to get the amount, we're just using the escrow amount, which is a map that is present into the escrow contract. So in order to get the escrow amount, we have to pass the ID. So it's like an ID to the amount. So that's the mapping there. So we're getting the escrow amount and we are just passing the escrow amount into the escrow contract. Okay, so with the help of the metadata, that's the value, and we are going to approve the transaction, okay, by passing the NFT ID. So what does the inspector do? The inspector just approves it. Okay, update the inspection status. This is a function in the escrow contract which takes two parameters. One is the ID of the NFT as well as the boolean value, whether it's true or false. In this case it's true. And then we have the lender. So what does the lender do? So the lender subtracts the purchase price minus the escrow amount. The escrow amount is paid by the buyer and the purchase price is the total amount of that property. So the remaining amount should be transferred to the escrow contract from the lender. So that's what here happens. So we're using the send transaction function. So in order to transfer the remaining price or the Ethereum to the escrow contract. So that's the lender does. And finally the seller approves the transaction as well as it calls the finalized sale, so which facilitates the whole process of real estate contract. So what happens is the NFT, the property is being moved or transferred to the buyer as well as the escrow Ethereum inside the escrow contract is then moved to the seller. So that's the whole process which is being done by the seller. So when the seller is done with it, so we're going to change the state of the hash sold to true. When it becomes true, we're going to call the two functions, which is fetch data as well as the fetch owner, right? This fetch owner fetches the owner from the smart contract and as well as set the owner. So when the owner is present, we are going to render the owner onto the front end. So that's all about this. This is very complicated process. I made it very simple. So thank you for watching. See you on the next video. Until then, this is Paul Morgan signing off. Peace.